Hey guys, it's Connor over at Soapbox Games, and today I just had a quick little video of a lingering thought from yesterday's showcase. Like, comment, subscribe down below, you know the whole nine. And I just want to set the tone for this video and give you kind of my overall thesis statement for what I'll be arguing in this video, and that is, I felt like the showcase yesterday just further proved to me that Sony actively knows that they are 2 steps ahead of Microsoft and plan on being 2 steps ahead as time goes on. The first point that I kind of want to use to argue this and hone in on is the KOTOR exclusivity deal. For those of you who weren't aware, KOTOR back in the day was an Xbox console exclusive, I believe back in 2003, and it's a franchise that I consider to be a legacy title for the Xbox brand. So for Sony to come in with their showcase, literally starting out the show, showing you that it is a console PS5 exclusive, doing almost the same exact thing that Microsoft did all those years back, to me is just extremely nuts given the history Microsoft has with the series. Now, there have been rumors in the industry for a long time now that Sony has been going into a lot of these meetings with different publishers and developers and actually outbidding Microsoft a lot of the time. But even if that's true, I'm having a hard time understanding how Microsoft could let this big of a title slip by them. I mean, just think about it for a moment, all right? Microsoft has extremely deep-rooted ties to this series. It's beloved, it's heralded, it has a huge cult-like fan base, it's a phenomenal RPG from that era of games. Which means, just to break it down, that you already have an install base of fans who are actively asking for more KOTOR. Now, not only that, but it's a Star Wars license game, which means whoever is putting this game out is almost guaranteed 1 million or more copies to be sold at launch, which in turn means you make your development costs back and make that additional green profit that you want, right? Now, we all know that Microsoft has more money than Sony and is always going to have more money than Sony. So what really happened? Why did LucasFilm Games decide to go with Sony instead of Microsoft? And I don't know about you guys, but I read this in a couple of different ways, right? My first read is that money and the price tag, essentially the cost of this remake, wasn't the determining factor in why LucasFilm Games went with Sony instead of Microsoft. See, to me, they went with Sony for 2 particular reasons. Number one being the obvious, that they've seen the success and care that Sony has shown with their first-party console exclusives, which means that they know if they got into bed with Sony, that for the most part that they would be in good hands and taken care of. Whereas with Microsoft, for a very long time now, they have still kind of yet to prove that their first-party titles can come with the same level of care and passion that Sony exclusives clearly have. Now, that might change within the next year. Microsoft is going to start releasing in 2022 a lot of these big exclusives that they've been hyping up over the years. And like I said, I'm not going by what they're releasing in 2022. I'm going by what they've been releasing currently. I'm going by their current status, which is usually what businesses use to determine if they want to get into a partnership, right? If I'm a publisher who holds the license for a certain franchise, I want to make sure that whoever is going to use that license does an amazing job with it, especially if it's something Star Wars related, given EA's track record, excluding Fallen Order. That was kind of a one-off. We'll see if they'll be able to do something cool with the sequel, but back to my point, the days of bad license games are over. And to me, this deal can read as Lucasfilm not trusting Microsoft to deliver on a good product, whereas Sony now for a very long time has an extensive track record of delivering great titles. Now, my second reason for why they chose Sony is one that I think speaks a bit of volume, along with how I'm able to sort of gauge how current developers and publishers feel about Microsoft's current business practices. The reason I'm hinting towards is that I don't think that they wanted to put this remake on Game Pass. And this is a sentiment we're starting to see a lot more frequently as time goes on, right? Like, Game Pass is a phenomenal idea on paper, And it's an idea that would have also happened regardless of if Microsoft was the first ones to do it. For those who can't afford a lot of games, their service provides them literally with hundreds of titles for like $15 a month, or if you did the $1 ultimate deal, $1, right? And I don't want people to get confused with this video. I don't want to have a ton of people in the comments go off about how I don't understand the value of Game Pass. I really do understand the value that this service provides for a lot of people who consider themselves gamers but cannot afford buying a $60 or $70 game each month, right? And I think that's great. I think that's fine. But businesses and video game companies are a business, right? They typically want to make as much money as they possibly can. Yes, the service exposes your game to a wider audience, possibly getting people to try your game that would never have bought in it to begin with. We still don't have a great understanding of how these Game Pass deals work, aside from you get money up front from Microsoft to be put on the platform, and theoretically down the line you'd make royalties off of the downloads. We don't know how much money Microsoft is taking as a cut, and we don't know if these people who are trying out these games on Game Pass are actually going to buy that game after trying it on a Microsoft device, right? Imagine it from the devs' perspectives. You made this amazing game, you put it on Game Pass, it's a runaway success. Microsoft is, saying, congrats, you guys did so well. There's 1 million concurrent players playing right now. If I'm a dev and I worked hard on that game and I hear that news that Microsoft just brought to my front door, my first thought would be, wow, we just missed out on a 1 million sales. Now, I understand that a million people playing on Game Pass doesn't necessarily mean that they'd actually get 1 million sales in real life, but just to use it as an example to sort of flesh out what I think a lot of publishers and developers think about Game Pass is, just use it as a what-if scenario, if you will. And I think you're going to see these types of deals with Sony happen a lot more. Take-Two, arguably the most profitable and biggest publisher in the industry, has stated this same sentiment that I'm sort of getting across, that Game Pass long-term doesn't seem very profitable, and I think they're right. Microsoft is never going to show you the true numbers of Game Pass because they want people to think that it's working and that it's a success and that they got it right on their first iteration. But if history has taught us anything, especially considering services, streaming platforms, live services, is that the first iteration usually isn't the best version. That usually happens when other companies decide to put their hat in the race and give it a go. Now, I'm not saying that Microsoft won't be able to get this right later down the line, but for right now, it's a big deterrent for AAA publishers outside of their first-party umbrella to want to be on Game Pass. This, in my opinion, is a huge advantage for Sony when it comes to meeting these publishers and developers, because they don't have to worry how they're going to get paid. And like I said, I see the value that Microsoft is trying to bring to the industry. I love a lot of the stuff that they're doing with their service side. I love the marketing. I love all of that. But frankly, what it always boils down to, right, is obviously having games, but also making good on a lot of your promises. And to me, Microsoft hasn't made good on a lot of their promises. They have a long, shoddy track record of always, moving the goalpost, in my opinion. And like I said in the beginning, I think Sony knows this, and I think Sony, that showcase yesterday was very much Sony stepping on the neck of Microsoft. And why shouldn't they, right? They are the leader in the market right now. Microsoft is appearing to be a competitor, which is great. I don't think one company should dominate in a certain industry. I feel like there should be a healthy amount of competition, but it still doesn't change the fact that Sony is king. And I'm not trying to get into the console war thing. I don't really care about that. Like, I prefer to play on my PlayStation, but I'm not opposed to buying an Xbox and playing Xbox games, right? Sony is just king right now. They are playing chess. They are buying up these licensed properties that people want to play. That is how they are. Not only that, they're licensed properties being ran by great developers who have great track records with making great games. So it's not surprising you know, if you really think about it, why this KOTOR deal happened, right? You want to be on the developer, you want to be on the publisher that's winning with the biggest install base, the people, the company that people trust to deliver good games. So it just makes sense to me. With that, I'm gonna sign out. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what you guys think about my argument, if you think that it's valid or not. And until next time.